Welcome everyone to LGE, Limitless Gaming Esports. It's a new branded channel, same channel, but a new name, and not too many new faces though, but a couple joining us tonight for this 15 grid start tonight. Might have some latecomers potentially, and we're here at the Russian Grand Prix for round 11 for Super Sunday Racing. I have got a co-commentator. He's not here at the moment. I'm sure he's going to turn up in a few moments time potentially, but we have got drivers coming out on track. As you can see, those white liveried Red Bulls coming out onto the circuit. It's looking like it's going to be a dry day. It's Sochi for the race, as everyone is coming out on track pretty prompto. I'm just going to check that my microphone is working. I think it is. Someone just checks in the comments because it happened last time. We're just seeing some of the drivers make their way out on track. As of course we've got the normal short qualifying today. No sprint this week, not sprint week anymore. That will be in a few weeks time at around round 15 I think, and that will be the last of the sprint. So back to the traditional format. Hi Jody. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're seeing a few of the drivers out on the circuit, a few concertining up actually at the end of sector 1, seeing Mr. Basil out on the circuit. See what drivers, come on Jay, get with it, what tyres the drivers have on their cars, and it's looking like a solid soft compound with a couple of mediums, but only one is out on the circuit, which is Anthony, which I'm not too surprised about him having the medium tyres, as no one is yet to start a lap to get all these graphics up and running. We're seeing Nem come around the final few corners to start his lap. Trenders is the first man to start his lap, so we'll ride on board with him through turn 1. We don't break until we get down to turn 2, which is the longest run on the calendar for the first braking zone of the lap. Ryan Van Doon has left the session. If Basil is listening, you can send him an invite when you can, mate. That would be much appreciated. Watching Trenders come around turn 3 and into turn 4. So got to be careful with track limits there, and he does it absolutely perfectly there as he comes down to the first split time. We get that split sector up as well. We didn't have that up as we're now into sector 2. Comes around turn 7 into turn 8 now. It's a tricky corner to get right. You run wide on the exit and then cut straight back over to the left hand side and make sure to hit that apex nicely. Try to watch that sausage curb on the inside. They are treacherous here at Sochi this year, not so much in last year's game. You could run over them like a breeze. They were like no sleeping policemen, but they really are this season. He comes down into turn 12, and it's a really tricky braking zone there as you sort of turning left into a right-hander, and seeing a few big crashes over the years there as he comes into the chicane of the lap. It's a really tricky chicane, and it's looking like a pretty decent lap from Trenders here. Not too many mistakes. He comes through the final 2 corners, the 2 right-handed 90-degree corners to finish the lap off. Make sure you run wide. And of course he goes fastest with a 32.602. Let's see if someone will be able to beat him. And hopefully I'll have my co-commentator at some point, because it's already getting rather lonely. He's Warren sets the final sector fastest, but doesn't finish the lap fastest. As Basil comes across the line in last place, as it stands, of the drivers who have done their laps. Everyone is out on track apart from Ryan Van Doon, who is yet to join back. Let's see if I can send Ryan a quick invite. And they've already sent him on, so hopefully it will be alright. We've got a new provisional pole sitter of Apex Finley, just overtaking the Sam Pancake there. He did quickly become on pole position, but only for a moment as Anthony crosses the line as well, goes for 4th fastest. So the top 4 are looking reasonably close. In a second, I'm sure there's going to be some other drivers setting some laps. Watching Amir Guna, who's in round 8 lap time, looking to start again potentially. So I said we have got some new drivers. We've got James Biscuit, who is round. So looking to rejoin the track safely, which I think he has managed rather well there. I don't know if he's got anyone coming up behind him, potentially a Ferrari by the looks of things. We have got one of the new Ferraris. Another King has joined our ranks. King Luckman, he's about to come across the line, reserving in that Ferrari tonight for either Chemjazz, who wasn't able to make it for internet connection issues, and he goes 7th fastest with a 1:33.945 on the medium tyres. So he is in the top 10 at the moment. We have got a long way to go in this qualifying session. I've just seen Nem Vidic come across the line now on the softs of 34.2 for him there. Just watching it, Amir Guna at the moment. He did invalidate his first attempt. He's going on to his second now. I was saying in the middle of his second attempt, actually. He's coming around that tricky mid part of the lap into sector 3. Actually, it looks like he's really struggling there. Got the Merc close behind there of Fearless, who is also on a lap. Ryan Van Doon has joined us once again, and my co-commentator is here. Barry, he says, hi lads, Fearless is going to come across the line, go 6th fastest with 33.117, and for the Australian, for the time of day it is, that is certainly a good lap from him there in the Mercedes. And I said, we've got Dan here. Is all your settings a-okay, Dan, with everyone being able to hear you? I'm guessing they will be.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. I check them all before I do any commentary.
Brilliant. Well, welcome to LFR, Dan, into Super Sunday Racing. It's great to have you, of course, and as you can see, we're about 10.5 minutes left of this session, and already got a medium runner in second place, so that's pretty impressive. Ryan Van Doom is yet to settle up, but he just joined us again. He did leave the session. I'm guessing you went. Did you go for your dinner?
No, I didn't. My fiance needed help with something, so I just went to help her. So my dinner's still yet to come.
Oh, that was my guess. So I got that wrong.
But I will be going back. I will have to go back down in about 2 minutes' time anyway, because that's when I'll be ready.
Okay. You've got to be quick. You don't want to miss the start. It's a bit mad at Russia.
I love watching the start of races. I do. It's just always so close, and you get to see the guys at the front battling it out to go straight ahead for P1. So I'd hate to miss the start of the race.
Well, let's hope you don't. We've still got a little bit of time left in the session. No one really out on track at all. We've got a couple of out laps, 3 out laps to be precise. And Al Stefano has joined back as a reserve. Not been with us since season 1 of Monday and Tuesday, so quite a while ago. So it's nice to see him back. He did tell me he's had a little bit to drink as well, so you better be careful. We're seeing Amir Guna come out onto his outlap in the Aston Martin. He's invalidated 2 attempts, I think, or he bailed out of his second one anyway. And got James Biscuit, the other Aston Martin driver, not to settle up, and just joined us today. Did his trial earlier on in reserving in that Aston Martin. Can't remember who he's reserving for. Doing two leagues on consecutive days, it's hard to remember who's in what car all the time. As we've seen anyone on a lap, Al Stefano has invalidated his lap time. Looks like Warren potentially is on a lap. Was he held up there by Sir Pancake? Not too sure. It was a bit touch and go. They got another Red Bull just ahead of him as he comes down into turn 4. He's in 5th place at the moment with a 32.987. Let's see if he beats his first sector. He doesn't. He's down on his time at the moment. He is got that Red Bull just ahead of him. Not sure if the Red Bull's on a lap. He isn't actually. He's on an out lap. And he's most certainly there, Dan. He's got in the way there. 100%.
Yeah. purple sector 1 for Amaguna there.
That wouldn't be a surprise. He's been quite high up in the standings for both Sunday and Monday, and we do say his qualifying pace isn't as good as his race pace, but it does look like on board there he's having a pretty good middle sector, and it might get a bit of a tow here, Dan, actually, with that Mercedes ahead. I don't think he's going to use it though, as he pulls right over to the left hand side.
That's purple sector 2 as well.
What are your feelings on Russia, Dan? Do you like it or not? I know the common opinion.
Well, I absolutely hate that track. I've done several league races there, and I'm still yet to finish a single race in Russia. So I just do not like this track at all. So for these drivers to go out there, try and prove what they can do.
Oh, sorry, Dan. 30, very, very close to Apex Finley, who is leading the championship in Monday night, and these two have been having good on-track battles from Sunday and Monday as well. I'm surprised Ryan Van Doom hasn't come out of the pits. Yeah, it's only 6.5 minutes to go, and he's not been on the track one bit. James Biscuit has invalidated his lap time. Is anyone looking good, Dan, on their laps at the moment? You know, there are a few people looking like they're on laps.
I can't see anybody at the minute. We've got J Contra 4 here that's coming over into sector 3 now with his feet, and that is a purple sector 2 there for J Contra as well. So he's on the verge of taking pole position here in the Red Bull as he's coming up towards the final 2 turns. Is this going to be pole position? Sorry about this, mate. I'm just checking to see if he's going to take pole position as he comes up round the final turn. Is it going to be pole position? No, it's 133.3.
The game does lie to you, doesn't it? It gives you high expectations.
Yeah.
And makes you fall flat on your feet. Not even flat on your feet, another word, no, I'm not going to say it. As we're seeing James Biscuit there in a McLaren of Ryan Van Doom, who has now finally come out onto the circuit. And we've already had over 10 minutes of the session. He's not ventured out just yet. There is a bit of traffic though, and
sorry to interrupt you, mate. I'm just going to have to rush off and go get my dinner. So
that's all right. Ryan Van Doom has got a 5-place grid penalty there, and hit the wall as well for good measure. And he's really not having a good time at the moment in LFR. He's been having a little bit of controversy, and he has sort of left it to the last minute. Maybe his internet is actually a little all over the place there, potentially. Not too sure. Welcome everyone who is joining us in the view count getting a little bit higher. Nice to see your support. Please make sure to like and subscribe to the videos. I think at last check, I think we were at 143 or 44 subscribers. I said wanted to get to 150 at the end of the season, and hopefully that is gonna happen. But of course only you can make that happen, so please subscribe to the channel for more content on Sunday, Monday and Tuesday. And of course I'm back again from a week off, being helped out by Big Weir, who's apparently doing a fantasy American football thing tonight, which sounds really, really boring to me. I'd much rather be doing this. And Anthony has looked like he's invalidated his lap time there potentially before. I'm not too sure. Maybe he did it out of the final corner. Fearless is on a lap. We've got 4 minutes left. I don't think Dan's going to make it for the start of the race. That is a shame from his point of view. Just give me a second, guys. We're just going to have a little look in the Discord quickly for something. As James, if you're listening to the stream, you'll be able to see Sunday's incidents, and that's where you're able to put your incident reporting in. Seeing Fearless cutting the track, surely going to get a penalty for that from the stewards, as we do not allow cutting of the circuit on your in or out lap unless you're getting out of the way of another car. So Pancake has moved up into 3rd place. So we're just watching the Sour Pancake. Look, he's going to come in on this lap. Seeing Anthony come in as well. I'm not sure if Trunders is on a lap there. If he is, that wasn't a good turn 4. Not too sure if he is or not. Potentially he is. As I think he is. He's only just slightly slower than his previous fastest Sector 1 time there. So I'm pretty sure he's on a lap. So we'll ride with him. So we're going to see a lot of drivers on their out laps now. As we've got 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Of course, you can start your lap. If you cross the line before that clock goes 0. So we'll be seeing them all rush out now potentially, as a lot of them are in the pit lane. And Trunders is now backed off his lap, so I'm just going to take a sip of my drink. Right guys, so we've got drivers out on their qualifying laps once again. Got Amir Guna, who's on provisional pole at the moment, on the run down towards turn 2, the first braking zone of the lap. And it's a really clumsy turn 2. He didn't invalidate there, he did go over the track, but it looks like he's potentially backed out of that, and he's going to go again in a moment's time. Just bear with me 1 second, guys. Problem with not having a co-commentator sometimes, because I have to do things, and I'm a man, so I can't really do 2 things at once. We'll keep an eye though, but if you just bear with me for 1 second. So I was just getting a little bit of content out there. And so we're just seeing the final flying laps happen now. We're going to catch Amir Guna, I think, start his last lap with just enough time on the board. Looks like Trunders is now on a lap, I think we're all a little bit out of sync with some of the drivers. Checker flag is out for a lot of the drivers. They're not going to be able to improve. As we see Trunders come across the line. Not sure if he's going on another lap there. Is he? No, he can't, of course. Checker flag is now out, so he doesn't improve. Apex has invalidated his lap time. Amir Guna is on a flying lap, that is for sure. Warren is also on a flying lap actually, and was able to just cross the line in time. Got James Biscuit, who has not been able to set a time in qualifying at all on his final run. So this really is a one-shot qualifying for the man. Who do we think is going to take pole, guys? Let me know in the chat. Who do you think is going to win the race? Actually, is it going to be Amir Guna? Is it going to be Apex? The Sour Pancake all got great pace and really good racecraft between the 3 of them. As James is coming around the final few corners of the final sector now. He's in 14th place with no time on the board. Only Ryan Van Doom is below him at the moment as he comes across the line, takes provisional pole with a 1:39.73, almost a second faster than anyone else. As Amir Guna now comes across the line, and that I was not expecting that. James Biscuit, the reserve for the Aston Martin, on his first drive in LFR, takes pole position by 0.6 of a second or thereabouts, and credit where credit's due, that was a hell of a lap, and Biscuit knows it. as well, and we're going to get into the race itself. But of course, that's only qualifying. There's no points in qualifying today, no sprint, so it's just the usual. Watch out for Anthony on those medium tyres in 6th place. So on the rundown is James Biscuit taking his first pole in his first race at LFR. Amir Guna is in 2nd. Apex Finley is 3rd. The Sad Pancake is 4th. Fearless is 5th. Anthony is 6th. 7th is Trunders. Nembidic is 8th. Warren is 9th. 10th is El Stefano. King Luckman is in 11th. 12th is Mr. Basil. Jay Kotra is in 13th. Boosted is in 14th. 15th with a 5-place grid penalty is Ryan Van Doom. But I think his car, he's not back in the session. So we're just waiting for everyone to get ready to get this race underway. Hopefully we can get Ryan Van Doom back into the session. So we see Anthony actually in the Discord making a little bit of a ruckus about the game. So the counter is just about to come down. We're going to start the formation lap. Hopefully we'll get Dan back in before the start of the race, but hopefully if not, right towards the start of the race as we start the formation lap. So I don't think we've got Ryan Van Doom in the session. It's just his AI car. Hopefully he can get back in and race. If not, let's hope he can just retire in the pit. So it is a 14 car race unfortunately tonight. Slightly low numbers at the moment. I think we have a lot of people off doing certain things. We've been trying to get a big bit of a recruitment in. So if you're watching and have not raced in LFR before or want to come back, if you have, just let us know in the comments, and we'll get you a Discord link. And obviously races from Sunday to Tuesday in LFR, and hopefully all fully streamed, even if it's from complete novices like Big We're joking. He did me a big favour last week, so I do appreciate it. From last Sundays, we've seen James Biscuit on his formation lap and rounding the grid out towards, rounding the field out towards the start of the race, and just warming up his tyres. We'll have a look at tyres actually, as I say it, as we see a bit of a mix towards back. We've only got 5 drivers who can change their strategies. Well, 4 actually, is Ryan Van Doom isn't actually in, so we've got no one on the softs outside the top 10. 1 driver on the hards, 3 drivers on the medium. So Ryan Van Doom is not in, he's starting on the soft tyres, and Anthony in 6th is the only man in the top 10 on the medium tyres for this race. So how is this going to play out? We've got a long run down towards a turn run. We've got an Aston Martin front row, which I didn't speak about before, and we've got a Mercedes just behind us, a Mercedes 3.5 as well, so that's a really good performance from the Mercedes outfit. As we're seeing James Biscuit about to form up on the grid. I'm sure the AI is now taken over, and he's got a really long run to defend. And to be honest, keep an eye out for Apex, because in my opinion, even in the game, 3rd place is king here, and it's almost like having pole position. If he gets a good start, he's going to get a really, really good run on James Biscuit. As we're seeing the final drivers form up on the grid, it's only Ryan Van Doom, who said not in the session. Let's hope he doesn't cause any carnage, as we are just going to wait for those lights to go. I think we're going to get them now, so we are. We've got 2, 3, 4 and 5 red lights, and we're away for Super Sunday racing here at the Russian Grand Prix, and Amir Guna has got a really good start side by side through turn 1 of the Aston Martins, and Sat Pancake has got the best start of all three of them, as he might look to go into the lead at turn 2. He's made up 2 positions already to go side by side through turn 2, and now Apex is capitalised on their mistake and moved up into 2nd place, and James has now moved down to 4th and got the Sat Pancake on his inside into turn 4. They go now, and they're going wheel to wheel, and he squeezes him right to the edge of the tracks in the Alpine. And the Williams fighting as well towards the backs in a Ferrari, make a bit of a lunge there. One of the new rookies has gone wide there, and Al Stefano is also, but not into the wall just yet. This track is very, very tight. It's very much street circuit-esque, as we're seeing Apex go for a move towards the back straight, and he takes the lead as we're into the halfway point of the first lap, and we're seeing the Sat Pancake trying to catch up to the back of Amir Guna. I think it might be a 4-way fight for a little while for this first place. We're seeing James goes to the inside there and almost made contact. That was very, very close indeed, and was able to keep it out of the car ahead and keep it out of the wall as well as they come around the chicane into the final sector. Looking at the Alpine there, might be having a bit of a squabble, or is it we're seeing a yellow. Actually, King is out. I'm not too sure what happened there. And the VSC has been deployed. Mr. Basil is into the pits. Yeah, we're seeing Ryan Van Doom's car, and that is going to cause an issue. The safety car is now out. I'm not too sure what's going on there. Ryan is not overtaking, and Boosted's not overtaking. This is very, very confusing. Green light. Is on the back there. Not too sure what was going on. That was very strange, but the safety car is now out. Boosted's got a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. So the safety car is out on lap 2. I was just trying to figure out what is actually going on here. So we really need Ryan Van Doom to retire his car if possible. Bear with me. So we're seeing some penalties happening here. It looks like, is a safety car in this lap? No, it's not. So we are seeing some penalties happening from a bit of contact there between Trunders and Warren. But I think we've pretty much got the grid sorted out now. So I think we're going to get racing on to lap 5. Sorry, it's been a bit of a long day actually. I've been up since 5:30 this morning. I was absolutely feeling shattered yesterday. And, was up super early, so I've already had quite a long day. It was funny actually, of course everyone, happy Halloween of course. Hopefully we're not going to see too many scary incidents here tonight. I haven't got any sweets to eat though, which is a bit of a shame. And if Jodie's still watching, she'll know how much I love my sweets a bit too much. As we're just waiting for these drivers to finish their final lap under the safety car. As you can see, that Aston Martin safety car. Apex made a fantastic start to this race and got himself up into first place. Made a jump of 2 positions. Not been any major jumps. Nevinich made a good number of places, and of course his good old buddy Mr. Basil is in last place as it stands. And I think we're going to see safety car in this lap, and there you go, just as I said it. And Apex, I'm sure, will now just hold up the pack just a little bit and let that safety car go. Some drivers follow it all the way to the pits, but I'm going to want to get a really good run here at the start of the race, the restart of the race, shall I say, as it's a really long straight down to turn 2. But Apex is now going to know when that safety car's in the pits. He can go where any time he likes now, and let's see when he does. I think he's just bolted now out of the second to last corner, and Amir Guna was caught a little bit off guard there. You saw him squirreling out of the second to last, and James is going to try and keep with him. Look like Nem had a bit of a problem there as well. We have got a full course. Got a full course yellow by the looks of things, and now we don't. Not too sure what's going on at the moment. As we're seeing 2 drivers almost making severe contact there, and I'm not sure what's happened to James now, as he's now causing big problems for other drivers. Had contact with Warren. I'm not sure if he's out of the session. I'm not sure if we've got a little bit of a glitch lobby here. As you see Fearless trying to go down the inside of him as well, and James has now dropped all the way back to 7th place. And James Biscuit is rejoined. Didn't see him actually leave the session. Hopefully he can take control of his car as quickly as possible. And his car is really lagging all over the place in this race. I'm not sure if it's our new host, Mr. Basil. His internet might be causing a little bit of an issue as we see the Sour Pancake go through on Ryan Van Doom's AI car there, as we think we may have it all sorted. Now I think James is back in the session, and not sure what's happening to Jay Cotra there. We've got a yellow flag. That's Basil. I don't think he's enjoying this Sochi circuit. Go back towards the back as well. We've got the Sour Pancake still trying to make some moves. Al Stefano is trying to fight back though on the Sad Pancake. There's 2x2 moves here into turn 2, as that was a pretty difficult one to say. Boosted pound turn 2, pretty difficult as well, as now he's lost position through turn 3 to Jay Cotra, who's moved up to 9th, 8th place for James Biscuit, who's really going to want to get on the charge now, as he's lost a lot of positions from that internet glitch there, as you see a driver round Al Stefano. As you said, he's had a little bit of a drink and causing himself a spot of bother as we're in to lap 6 of 27. We're seeing Apex leading the race with Amir Guna not too far behind Anthony on those mediums. He's looking pretty handy at the moment. Got Trunders just ahead of him. And Warren might look to make a move here. Looks to the inside at turn 12. James Biscuit is also making a move, and then Vidic defends it by going off the track. And James is round and pirouetted 360 and ended up in the right direction. Actually, not lost too much time there, so couldn't really be any better. But Jay Cotterer is just behind him. Boosted is just behind him as well. And Sat Pancake, we've got a 4-car train. 2 Red Bulls are very, very close together. Warren is in the pits. Fearless moves up to 6th. James Biscuit moves up to 7th place. And not sure where Warren is going to come out here. He's got a penalty to serve, is he? Looked like he did, yeah. So he's in a spot of bother there. Amir Guna is really trying to push towards the back of that rear diffuser of Apex. Finley and Anthony isn't too far behind on those medium tyres, so I say keep an eye out for him, but he has got Trunders just behind him. Welcome along, everyone, to who has just started watching. We're about to see a three-way fight here into the second sector. Side by side, the Red Bull and the Alfa Romeo, and they're still side by side here. Boosted and Sour Pancake as they come in to turn 7. They're still side by side. Sour Pancake is not giving this up, and Boosted just gets the edge there. Jay Cotterer is just behind. It's line astern for the Red Bulls in 9th and 10th as they come around turn 10, and King Lutman has left the session, and Dan is back. It's all right, as we're on to lap 7. Dan, as you watch the battle for 8th place, it really is starting to hot up, and we've got a bit of contact there between Jay Cotterer and Boosted, and Boosted and then just came out on top and moved up into 9th place. But there are some close battles on track, Dan. You have missed a reasonably good start, and we've had one safety car as well, so it's all sort of kicked off in the first 8 laps.
It does look like it is getting really interesting, especially for the battle for P1 right now between Amaguna and Apex Finley. They are really going at it, and the 8-10 separating them right now.
As I was saying, watch out for Anthony on those medium tyres in 3rd place. He's looking in a really handy position at the moment. I see, just inside Pancake as well. So Pancake pit under the safety car. He was sort of in the fight for the lead. He went onto the hard tyres, so he's playing the long game now and already made up quite a bit of time, to be fair. But the 2 front men are still just running away with it a little bit, and the DRS is really helping Amir as well get away from Anthony.
Amaguna's actually got DRS right now when he's gaining so much on Apex.
Who else is gaining? It's Fearless as well, and he just goes past Nemvidic into turn 12 as well. So you just saw Apex and Amir Guna.
There is actually 3-10 separating them right now. Amaguna is looking really promising as we speak as they come around the final turn, which I assume could potentially be a DRS zone. I'm not sure actually.
It is, yeah, it's a really long one. DRS is just about now, just before we go into turn 1. And as they fly through, that was a great camera angle there on the apex of turn 1. But is Amir Guna going to take Apex at turn 2? And he isn't able to get close enough there as we're about to come around turn 3. So James Biscuit has made up some time, and remember James Biscuit took pole position, Dan, by 0.6 of a second, which was amazing. He didn't set a lap, he did a one-shot qualifying at the end, and before Amir came across the line again to finish his better lap before that, he was a second up on second place. It was an absolutely mega lap, and he's looking like he's going to try and go for a mega move here at the end of sector 1, and he wasn't able to make that stick. Nemvidic holds him up and keeps hold of that 6th place. And yeah, no, he AI'd and lagged out of the session and dropped about 6 places. He's trying to make them back up now, back up into 6th place. They go side by side onto the back straight.
Sorry, interruption a second. Oh, never mind. Sorry about that.
I saw it. I saw it.
Amaguna, he looks like he's going on the outside as he spins in the middle of the track, and that is going to be some time lost there, and he will not be fighting for P1 much longer.
There is still a fight for P1 though, Dan, with Anthony on those medium tyres, looking really handy with only 4.5 seconds behind. And hopefully, if it goes to plan, I think he'll be a one stop to the softs maybe, and even if it's a soft hard strategy for them both drivers to go on hard, he's going to be able to go out a little bit longer and have fresher tyres at the end. And a 4.5 second gap or a 4 second gap now almost, is really not too big a gap. As some drivers now come into the pits. Amaguna is into the pits. I'm going to hope to try and make back some of that time.
There's a battle for P4 right now between Nemvidic and James Biscuit. Is the McLaren driver. He's looking for the outside of him, I think. Sorry, the inside. No, he doesn't get the overtake, and James Biscuit will stay in P4 for the time being, but there's only 6 tenths separating them right now. So I think when the DRS comes on, Vidic will manage to find a way, and he will get the overtake on James, depending how he uses the DRS.
Yeah, I'm not too sure though, because I think just out of DRS range now, yeah, and I think James has got some real good pace under his right foot potentially. The closest battle on track is for 7th place between Boosted and Jay Cotra, Red Bull versus Alfa Romeo, but 2 white liveries, and I don't think for very much longer that we're going to see that Red Bull white livery. It's a shame though, really did like it, to be fair.
It's really nice.
Yeah, I don't really like the Red Bull livery, but Red Bull livery in white. I was surprised that they used this halo as black. I thought they might have gone for their traditional sort of bluey purple colour.
I was thinking that.
But no, it's really nice seeing Fearless come into the pits there, and looking like he's going to go on to the meeting.
Sorry.
Yeah, Anthony, are you saying about making up some time?
Yeah, he has made up so much time over the last lap that he is definitely going to be on within the battle range with Apex for P1. So this is going to be an interesting race. It's only the top 4 now that are still yet to pit in this race, so it's getting interesting now.
James Biscuit has left the session again. I think there's something going a little bit wrong with this lobby today, but unfortunately that's nothing new with this F1 2021 game. It is still rigged with bugs.
DRS
James broken
right now.
Yeah, but it's going to be an easy pass, of course, because there is no human driving that Aston Martin as it stands. You see him close up on the brakes there into turn 12. The closest battle on track, Dan.
It's for P12.
Yeah, it's for 12th, and just ahead of him for 10th place as well.
And Trunders goes into P12 there with an overtake on the outside of Amaguna there. So Amaguna, who was in P2, is now down into P13.
I can just see James Biscuit come into the pits. James, if you can get back in and just retire your car in the pits at least, that would be appreciated. Obviously, ghosting is seeing Ryvan do move up into 7th place, but isn't in the session. As that gap's come down even more, Dan, to 2.6 seconds now between the top 2. And Apex is surely going to have to pit this lap, because he's just going to start going backwards. Amaguna is now out the pits again. It's very strange.
You might have to bear with us a second, mate, because
That's fine.
fiance is just changing the sun. I'm going to mute my mic.
It's fine. As I'm seeing Dan in a spot of bother, and seeing that James Biscuit is also in a spot of bother as well, as he's left the session again and now down in 11th place. As I said, there's no point in qualifying, only in the race. Mr. Basil is catching up to the back of Ryan Van Doom. Of course, he's not been in the session since qualifying, and Apex is now in the pits. I'm going to see where he comes out relative to the rest of the field. People like the Sour Pancake, actually, who he's had a pretty quiet race up to now as we get to the half distance. And is he going to overtake Apex? Might be pretty close, to be fair. And I don't think it was, actually. It was a little bit of a walkover there. And there is a yellow flag, but for who? It's for Trunders, who is round at the last couple of corners there into the chicanes. He comes around the penultimate now. I don't think he's got any wing damage. And he soldiers on. Nemvidic and Ryan Van Doon are both into the pits. Sorry. As we see Mr. Basil getting quite close to the back of Fearless now, and the timing screens have gone awry for the top four, so that will be soon to change, I imagine. It's going to be an interesting fight now between these drivers. We've got Anthony, who's yet to pit. We've got the Sour Pancake, who's playing the long game, which is very interesting. Apex is just overtaken Jay Kocher there, and Boosted is in 5th place. A really good performance from him at the moment, in 5th place. And James is left the session again. That's such a shame from there. The internet is not working how it's supposed to, as we see Mr. Basil now a few tenths away, a couple of seconds away now from Fearless. So I think he made a bit of a mistake there, as we're seeing the leaders come across the line. I think the timing screens will get a bit better there. Anthony is 15 seconds behind, and Apex is 6 seconds behind the Sour Pancakes. This is going to be a bit of a waiting game between these drivers, I imagine. I'm going to see what Anthony can do, but Anthony's still looking in a really strong position. He's going to try and go to the softs, but he's going to have to battle his way through at the end between these top four. Yes, we're still just on board with Anthony. We've got Ryan Van Doom, who's closing up on Warren, strangely. And Ami Aguna, of course, has had a really unlucky race so far. He's just really struggled with this race. He's had to pit twice and not had the best of starts, I must admit. And we're just over half distance now. Nemvidic is being caught up by Trunders, and I said this is going to be a bit of a waiting game. And it's interesting between Anthony and the Sad Pancake, and it looks like we might have Dan back. We've got Boosted into the pits. Timing screens are all going and doing their own thing. I can't see anything for the time being. I was just saying, Dan, I think this is going to be a bit of a waiting game. Just as you left, Apex pits for the medium tyres. The Sour Pancake, obviously, I said, pitted under the safety car at the start of the race on the hard tyres, and Anthony is going a little bit longer and is going to go on to the soft. So I think this is going to be an interesting three-way fight for the win of this race.
This is going to be a great battle now. We're down to the final 12, 13 laps, or however other people say it. But we're down to the final 12 laps, and the top three are really, really going all out for it now for that win.
So when are we going to see Anthony pit? I'm thinking probably about... No, he hasn't. So I'm thinking about lap 19. But of course, he's going to go on the soft. So he's probably going to go behind the Sour Pancake and Apex if they keep that car on the black stuff. But he'll obviously have the best tyres of the three. Sour Pancake's probably going to be in the worst position. But I can't really call who will win it, to be honest.
Well, if you look now, it's 17 seconds splitting Sad Pancake and Anthony right now. So if Anthony goes into pits, he'll probably.
Oh, sorry, Dan. Anthony is Apex is just gone past the Sour Pancake. So I don't know what Sour Pancake's going to do now. I think he's just going to have to hold on for what he's got. But that was a real gain in speed there. Between a real tyre advantage there for Apex Finley over Anthony. Came out 7 seconds behind him about 4 laps ago.
There's actually a battle going on now for P6 between Trunders and Vidic here, as Vidic is literally only 6/10 ahead right now, but Trunders is really pushing for that P6 position. Thing is, will he be able to do it? I think it's going to take a lot for Trunders to be able to get the overtake in, especially with Vidic being on the fresher tyres as well. So Vidic is going to have the advantage here now for the rest of this race. Okay, Anthony has just pitted as well.
So Anthony is in the pit, so we'll keep an eye on the Sour Pancake and Jay Cotter actually, but he has dropped back quite a fair distance. The Williams driver is the last pit box for him. He's now going on to the softs. Apex has gone past. Sour Pancake is going to go past, and he's going to slot in third place. This is going to get very interesting now for the last 9 laps or so. So anyone... Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, now Anthony is 6 seconds behind. He's on the soft, so obviously he's got the best tyre advantage now. So he's got to now try and use it. Obviously, don't go too fast coming out the pits like he didn't do. Just warm your tyres up, and then once those tyres are warm enough, go forward, because he's on the better tyre compound. So he's going to have the best advantage now for the rest of this race, because as you can see, the time's already coming down.
Yeah, and he's already flying. Now, what I was going to say, if anyone's watching who's not racing, let us know in the comments who do you think's going to win this race. Is it going to be Apex staying on those mediums? Sour Pancake, I'm not sure what Sour Pancake does here. Dan, potentially he should just pit and go on the soft tyres, because I don't think he's going to... if he does lose third place to Jay Cotter, I'm sure he'll be able to get past him. He's quite a distance back. And or is it going to be Anthony, who's just come out on those soft tyres, but got to go the aggressive, as Trunders overtakes Vidic there into turn 12. Nice move for him there. And Fearless overtakes Jay Cotter, Dan. And,
yeah, I was just watching that as well. I saw him as he goes on the outside of Vidic, and he just gets such a clean overtake on him, which is obviously giving him that advantage, and he has now moved himself up into P6. He's now, because he's on the fresher tyres over Jay Contra, he's got to use that to his advantage and just try and get forward as much as he possibly can now, and try and get up to P5.
So, we're just watching Anthony at the moment, or I'm just watching, or everyone at home is watching it. He's watching Anthony at the moment, and there's a 2-second gap, and you can see that white Red Bull in the distance now, and he's catching up very, very fast indeed now, and it's going to be easy pickings, I think, for Anthony, and the fight is probably going to be a 2-way fight for the win. So I don't think Sour Pancake's got anything left in those hard tyres. He took a bit of a gamble and it's not necessarily paid off. But of course, it could be a safety car that comes out, Dan, that would save his race right now.
I think if a safety car does come out, it's going to make such a great finale to this race. It's going to make it so intense towards the end, as we are coming up to the end of the race as well anyway.
So, and the Sour Pancake does pit Dan, so he's taking that risk at the end, and he's going to come out in a bit of traffic though, Dan. He's going to come out in a proper bit of traffic, I think, for this sort of midfield battle here from, I say that, Jay Cotter is in the pits as well, but Fearless is coming around. Trunders is going to come out in the penultimate, as well as Nemvidic. Not too sure he's going to come out here. I think he's going to come out right with, right behind these guys, actually. So he has got a bit of a fight on his hands here, Dan, for third place now. He's got to overtake 3 cars.
I think he can do it. He's just got to believe that he can do it. But obviously, we've only got like, what, 8 laps to go. It's going to make it hard for him to do it. But I've seen it once. I'm sure I'll see it again. Somebody that ends up in the midfield going into the final 7-8 laps, they can come forward and they can get on that podium. And not only that, he's in the middle of the pack right now, and he's the only one without a time penalty. So he's got to stick with them, and he is getting podium tonight.
Let's see if that's the case. If so, we're going to have some overtaking on our hands here, Dan, to be able to watch out for. And Russia isn't usually renowned for great racing or overtaking, even in the game. I think it suffers from it as well. It's just the track is a little bit clumsy for me here. It's not. They've got some good corners, like here at turn 12. You can see some good overtakes there, but it's quite difficult. But hopefully, Sour Pancake, who is catching up to Nemvidic, it's some serious pace here. And as I said before, it's probably going to be easy pickings for Sour Pancake this time. Anthony is closing that gap, but is he closing it enough, Dan, with only a few laps to go now, with about seven and a bit laps to go in this race? He's got a 4-second deficit.
I think he can do it.
It's definitely going to be close though. Definitely. As we see Sour Pancake coming around turn 4 with Nemvidic just ahead of him. He might want to take the opportunity now, and it looks like he's going to into turn 5. Nem holds on for dear life, but he wasn't able to hold on to that position. Sour Pancake now moves up, and now he's got Trunders just ahead of him as well. And so that was a pretty good move, Dan, from Sour Pancake.
That was a very good move indeed.
And he seized on the mistake from Nemvidic, and he really did pounce on it like a bull, to be honest, as we see him now trying to hunt down Trunders. But Fearless is just that little bit further ahead, and not sure if he's going to be able to make up that gap. And Fearless might be looking at a podium. 3 seconds now separate the top 2, and they are certainly within sight of one another now, Dan, and we might have a few final laps. And I've got the feeling that their tyre wear is going to be very similar towards the end. So if Anthony is going to close that gap, he needs to do it in the next 2 laps or so, I think.
I think he needs to really be doing it before lap 24 if he wants to be able to if he wants to get himself right back in this battle, because none of them have time penalties. So at the minute anyway, so it's all going to come down to who is ahead on that final lap and who will cross that line first.
As you see Warren into the pit, Sour Pancake is now 2 tenths behind Trunders. Those softs really working well on this circuit, I must say, and the medium soft strategy looks like it's a pretty decent one as they go side by side through turn 5. And the same move there for the Sour Pancake. with potentially the same result, but it's not done yet. But now it is, but maybe not for too long, as the DRS is going to come very, very shortly, and for Trunders. And we know it does have quite a big advantage. 2 seconds separate the top two now. We're just watching the battle for fourth place. And I don't think Trunders has got any answer to that attacking move from Southbank a few corners ago. But he has got 5 seconds to make up on Fearless, which is going to be a really tall order now, Dan.
Yeah, if he gets the overtake, he's got to push as soon as he can to try and get away from Sad Pancake. But in my opinion, we've only got 5 laps to go. It's going to be hard to do, especially it's got to go like 6 seconds ahead or something like that. So it's going to be a lot to do, and I can't see it happening, if I'm honest.
I'll tell you what, I just rode on board with the top two through turn 4, and you could clearly see the extra pace difference from Anthony still. And I think you're right, he's going to run out of grip in a couple of laps. And he's getting within that DRS range very, very soon. He's really still on course. And if their tyres now balance out, Dan, it is really going to be an even playing field between the two of them.
It's going to make the rest of this race interesting. Because like you said, the tyre wear will probably be around the same coming up towards the final few laps. And round about now is where I think it will start to happen. So if they get wheel to wheel, or Anthony manages to get within touching distance of him, it's just going to be backwards and forwards thing between the two of them. I think one will go ahead, then the other will go ahead, and they'll just keep switching between each other. So I think it's going to go right down to the wire between these two tonight.
1.3 separates the top two. The detection point for the DRS is just over the start-finish line, and then we just have the DRS a little bit further on the straight. So it really will be all to play for, even on to the final lap, which is on lap 23 of 27. Crossing the 5-second penalty for crossing the white line at pit exit for Mr. Basil. A very, very strange penalty. Don't really ever see that, actually. So that is a very uncommon one. I don't know if you see that very often, Dan, but I don't think I've seen it the whole 2 seasons or 1.5 seasons of LFR.
I've never seen that before. I mean, I've heard of leaks it's happened in, but I've never seen it happen before. So that is the first time I've actually seen something like that happen.
I tell you what, you have seen before, Dan, a second place man within DRS of the first place man, and that is now the case. He won't have DRS this straight, as he just got into it a bit too late over the detection point, but he is within DRS, but only within that tenth. Now within 2 tenths, 3 tenths, he's really catching up, and this is going to be a fight to the very end between these two, and it's all been a game of a strategy in this race, and a waiting game, as we said, but hopefully it was worth the wait. With a few laps to go, we're going to go on to lap 24, and we're going to have 4 laps to go as we cross the line, with 5 tenths between them. And place your bets, Dan. Who's going to be winning this Russian Grand Prix? I don't know if Anthony's going to go for it straight away. He doesn't. He even lifts off before the braking zone now, and I'm not sure where he's going to go for his attack. 1.6 seconds separates Fearless and the Sad Pancake. Fearless does have a penalty, so Sad Pancake doesn't need to overtake, but I tell you who does, Anthony, and he almost went for a move there. It turn 4, Dan, and I really think the gloves are going to be off now for this rest of this race.
This is getting really interesting. There's 3 tenths separating them right now, so this is going to go either way, and Anthony is within that time distance for the DRS as well. So the second he hits this DRS detection zone, he needs to use that to his advantage and try and get the overtaking as soon as possible. And
as we've got a yellow flag, we've got a Ferrari who's Alfa Romeo who's off. I don't know if that's going to cause a VSC or anything. Apex doesn't go defensive. Anthony waits. I was just thinking, Dan, is this going to be a game of as we're in the right country for it? Is it Russian roulette DRS? Because you never know. Onto the penultimate lap, onto the on the back straight. Are you going to want to be in second place coming down here into the final corner? Personally, I think I'd want to be.
I'd love to be. In my opinion, it would really be putting the pressure on the guy in front, especially if you're in the position that Anthony's in, as he gets the DRS on as well, and that could cause a safety car.
I don't think it will, as it was in the pits and out on track at turn 2. He looks to go round the outside, keeps it on the road and makes that move stick. What a move from Anthony. That could be a race-winning move. It certainly looked like it. But Apex is going to fight back. He's not going to let this go without a fight. And as I said, it might be Russian roulette DRS for the last few laps of this race. We've got 2.5 laps to go. Don't go anywhere for the last little bit of this race. This really has been a waiting game. And we're also going to have a quick look, Dan, and the fight for third now on the road. Sour Pancake has made up that time, and we've got two. Apex into the wall goes Apex, and that has completely ruined his race. He's got a 26-second deficit to his teammate in third place. Dan, he has to pit. He's not got a front wing. He can't try and hold this out because he will just lose position. I don't know how he's done that. I don't know if you saw it. I just caught the end of it.
I was on board with him at the time. As he goes round the corner, he's trying to stick with Anthony, but I think as he goes round the corner, he hits the curve too much, and he ends up spinning, hitting the wall. Sorry, hitting the outside curve, I think it was, spinning, coming back across the track, hitting the wall, and I thought, to be honest, I thought that was going to be him out of the race, but I think he managed to slow him down enough before he hit the wall in order to keep himself going in this race. But I think the sad Pancake may be taking this position away from Apex.
I think he's going to as well, as Apex has only just left the box. And looks like Fearless might get his first podium in LFR in his very first race in his full-time seat for Mercedes. And it looks like Apex is going to come home in 5th place, with Trunders now going through as well. Nemvidic might pass him as well. No, it looks a bit too far away. Nem actually struggled with turn 1 there, as Apex now drops down into 5th, and he's not going to be happy about that. And a penalty now, and that has really soured his night in Super Sunday Racing. Fearless, though, looks like he's going to get a podium, Dan. He's had a really quiet race, but with strong rewards at the end of it by the looks of things.
Yeah, from what I've seen of him tonight, he has done extremely well to be in this position, and he just needs to hold out now as they're coming up towards the final lap any minute now. They'll be coming round onto the final lap in about 35 seconds time, and he's just got to hold out then for the final minute and a half, and he will be taking away the podium with him tonight, and he has really deserved that podium position.
As Apex moves up into 4th, goes down the inside into the curve of turn 12, and then into the right-hander. He was ahead, and Trunders is now dropped down to 5th place. Fearless might try and take 2nd place on the road, but he isn't going to take 2nd place with that penalty hanging over his head. Sour Pancake will be so relieved to have took that pit stop, and he's gained quite a bit from that. James, of course, being on pole and having his car in AI mode is unfortunate for him. He's going to finish in last place. We had a bit of a glitchy lobby today, but we're on lap 27, and Dan, you don't know this, we do a driver's driver of the day. The commentators pick 3 choices, and the drivers pick from the 3. So have you got anyone in mind for your driver's pick? Because we should do one each and share one.
I would definitely love to have Fearless in the vote, because he has just had an outstanding race tonight. He's managed to come from middle to the back of Sweat and then back up to P3, so he deserves to be in that vote.
I know one that does deserve to be in it. We'll talk about the 3rd in a minute. Anthony is going to have to go in that vote as he comes round the penultimate corner now, and the strategy paved the way for this victory of the Russian Grand Prix. for Anthony there, and takes a well-earned victory. Sad Pancake will come home in second place. And I know you don't really know any of the drivers really, Dan, but the third option with me would be Nemvidic. Is a sixth place. It's a really strong performance from Scotty Nemvidic, so I would put him on the board for driver. Sad Pancake crosses the line in third place. Fearless crosses the line in fourth. Look how close it was between the two Mercs at the end of the race. Apex tried to get back onto the rostrum, but was away from it by 0.3 of a second. It really did hot up in the last few laps of the race. I did predict it today. That was a commentator's prediction. It was a slow burner, but the fire really ruptured towards the end of the race there, with Apex losing out on that win. It was a bit of a shame for us, but a dominant win there, Dan, of a 27.5 second win. I know there was extra pit stops, but it was such a good win, and a bit of luck on his side as well. But the strategy paid off for him from fifth place on the grid, I think.
Yeah, he's just had an amazing all-round race. All of them have. But I think Anthony, he deserves that P1 position tonight. He has just had such a great race, especially doing that pit stop, getting back on track, and then somehow still going on to win the race. So I think the softs were probably the best idea for tonight towards the end of the race.
So it's saying Anthony is the games driver of the day, so he's going to be one of our choices. He dishes out some of those F1 2021 copies. You kind of do want it for free because it is so glitchy. And yeah, we see him take the win. So we'll do the rundown. Do you want to do the rundown, Dan, of the final standings of the race?
Yeah, I will once it loads up anyway. So you have Anthony, who took the P1 position tonight. You have the Sad Pancake, who had a great race, who finishes himself in P2 tonight. Fearless, who also had another great race, finishes P3. Apex, who finishes P4. Chunders, who finishes P5. And Nemvidic, who finished P6. J Contra, who finished P7. Amaguna, P8. Warren, P9. Ryan Van de Boom, whatever.
Doom, Ryan Van Doom.
Elstefano,
yeah.
In P11, right. James Biscuit P12, and Mr. Basil, who finishes in P13 tonight. There you have it, and then obviously you have the two guys that didn't finish in Boosted and King Lookman.
So that is the end of the Russian Grand Prix. Thanks for tuning in and watching Limitless Gaming Esports for this Limitless Formula Racing Super Sunday race. Tomorrow night, it's for the rest of the week, it's street circuit galore. We're going to the one and only Principality, the Monaco Grand Prix tomorrow night, so make sure to check that out. I'm sure there's going to be so much carnage for me to commentate on. And then we're going to my favourite street circuit, and everyone thinks I'm mad for saying this, on Tuesday, where I'll be racing, and hopefully we'll have a commentator for you for Tuesday, because obviously we had Broomhandle, who was fantastic last week as always, and hopefully have some content for you for Tuesday. But of course it is at the Singapore Grand Prix, the first race under the lights, and as I said, my favourite track. It's grueling, it's the longest race of the season. I said street circuits galore for the rest of the week. So as I said, please make sure to like, share and subscribe on this video, so we want to get to 150 subs by the end of the season. We've got a few weeks to do that, and we're very, very close now, so appreciate everyone's support. If you want to join the league, please put a comment in the comment section below. We'll get you a Discord link so you guys can get in the action. Anyway, thank you for tuning into the Russian Grand Prix. It's a goodbye from me, and thank you very much, Dan, for joining me for the first time. I really enjoyed it with you.
It's been a pleasure being here, and it was a great race to watch tonight, and I hope to be here again in the commentary box alongside you again very soon.
Thanks guys, see you tomorrow.